Channeled writing is good writing. It's not the only way to write, but it is a way to write that I think could be helpful for a lot of people, especially if you are somebody who has been told that consistency is key, having a schedule is key, and being rigid and planned out is the only way to write your book. So in today's video, I'm going to jump into what is channeled writing and why is it good. But before we jump into that, hello, my name is Kate. Thank you so much for spending some time with me on my little channel today. I'm very excited to talk about this because, as I've said in the past on my channel, sometimes a random phrase will just shoot into my head and then I'll be like, what does that mean? And then I'll have to sit down and make a YouTube video. You know the drill. So exhibit A, I have before you a sheet of paper, and this sheet of paper will hold all the answers to your dreams. I'm just kidding. We have what looks like about a paragraph of text, some random conversation text down here, and then a lot of handwritten notes. Now, I have discovered something about myself. I can't stick to a schedule. I can't sit down and work on something in a linear way for this period of time. There are some days I can do that. I can sit down and say, okay, I'm not leaving until I've written 1,000 words. Or I can say, I'm gonna sit down and write for an hour. That can work sometimes, but I'm much more of a patchwork kind of writer. And this sheet of paper is the perfect illustration of how my writing process works and how this ties into what I mean by channeled writing. This all started with an idea, as all books tend to start. And so I wrote down the preliminary idea, but this thought just kind of came into my head. It was like, oh, okay, that would be interesting. So then I sat down on my typewriter and I wrote more about it in detail. The most important thing to do when you have an idea is to nurture it and to go after it. Don't sit on it, don't wait, or at the very least write it down, because this is a channeled message that has just shot into your brain, and now it's up to you to manifest it, do something with it, or just have it on a notepad somewhere. I like to keep a list of ideas on my notes app, and then maybe at some point in the future I revisit it, and then that spark can reignite. But the point is that the second you get a message or an idea, at least write it down. Then what I like to do is to set up an ambiance, like put on a YouTube video, maybe get a glass of wine. Obviously, if you don't drink, you don't have to do that. Light a candle, get onto Pinterest, Google some images that speak to me, that fit the vibe of what it is that has just come into my head. And then I allow things to come through me. So all of this stuff that I have written on the bottom and then on the back of this page are all random things that just came to me out of nowhere. And it was because I was dialed into a vibe, so to speak. I was looking at images, I was listening to music, I was cut off from the outside world. You know, I put my phone in do not disturb. I had something delicious like a glass of wine. This is such an important way of writing because it goes against what the schedulers will tell you that you must do. You gotta sit in front of a computer and just go at it and squeeze your brain until something comes out. It's all about finding what works for you. But the beautiful thing about channeled writing is that it's almost like you're not the one who's coming up with the words. You're just the channel, the conduit for something else that comes through. The words are coming through you, not from you, if that makes sense. A beautiful way to think about it is that you're tapping into some universal stream of ideas, emotions, images, and truths that resonate with probably a lot of people or the world in general or something. This isn't a forced way of writing. And if you are someone like me who needs to work in these short bursts of energy, short bursts of productivity, this is such a godsend. Especially because a simple sheet of paper and some random things coming to my head can end up leading to a book or whatever. But the point is to be open to whatever thoughts and ideas come to you. Channeled writing is about being open. It's about not having this energy of like grasping, I've got to get these words out of my brain right now. It's just seeing what comes to you, setting a scene and basking in it. And then once I have this, then I can start to patchwork the whole book together. Like I'll get an image of a scene, or a bit of dialogue or something, and then eventually string that all together. I also think channeled writing takes some of the pressure off of trying to be original. It's my opinion, at least, that there is nothing new under the sun. Like, all ideas have been thought, all stories have been told. It's your interpretation and the way you tell it that makes it unique. And when something comes through you, in the case of channeled writing, then you're already putting your stamp onto whatever it is that you're creating. It will carry your energy with it, especially if you have a strong sense of what the thing looks like. People will sense that image that you're putting forth on the page that you're writing down. And this may be a bit of a shorter video, but I just had this thought and I wanted to sit down and share it with you because I wanted to offer maybe an alternative idea to how I think so many people have been feeling about creativity, that it's something that needs to be on a schedule, that it's something that can be forced. Creativity is like trying to get a cat to come to you. You kind of have to coax the cat, entice the cat to come to you instead of forcing it to come to you. Because if you have a cat, if you've been around cats, you know you can't force them to do anything. But creativity is meant to be playful, fun, interesting, intuitive. It's very much a right-brained kind of pursuit. And when you marry it with this rigidity, sometimes creativity can leave the building. Again, this is just something that works for me. Create your own patchwork. Maybe you're like 40% planning, 60% intuitive. Maybe you are like 95% intuitive and 5% planning. Whatever works for you is legitimate, and it's up to you to find what works. So to sum up this random video, channeled writing is good writing. It's the way that I like to write. This is not me saying this is the only way, that the other ways of writing aren't legitimate. Of course they are. Please don't run with that. But I hope that this was helpful, if not a little chaotic, but I felt like I wanted to share this idea that I had with you today. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I will be posting next. And stay tuned for more random flashes of insight that I will share with you on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.